Unlock the secrets to entrepreneurial success with stories that inspire. You're about to hear how one man's journey from selling glasses as a kid in Venezuela to thriving in the competitive world of e-commerce in Minnesota shaped his life. This is Uncharted Entrepreneurship, and I'm your host, Brent Peterson. Today we're diving into the inspiring saga of Jose Meneses, someone who has truly navigated the choppy waters of starting and growing a business. You won't want to miss the incredible lessons and insights that Jose brings to the table, not just once, but through every challenge and triumph in his entrepreneurial voyage. Jose's story is one of perseverance, innovative spirit, and the relentless pursuit of personal and professional growth. If you've ever faced obstacles on your business path, Jose's experiences will resonate with you, offering guidance and motivation. In today's episode, we'll explore how Jose transitioned from an employee to an entrepreneur who is not just surviving but thriving. How does one maintain balance, push through adversity, and leverage a community like the EO Rally? We'll uncover all this and more through Jose's compelling journey. Get ready to be moved and motivated by Jose Meneses, whose story will light a fire in the heart of any aspiring entrepreneur. But first, here are some reasons why you need to attend the EO Rally in 2024. This is Brent Peterson, host of Talk Commerce and Uncharted Entrepreneurship. I want to invite you to join hundreds of ambitious business trailblazers at the 12th Annual Entrepreneurs Rally on May 9th, 2024 at the Mall of America's JW Marriott. From keynotes by Bill Walton and Candace Mama to a packed agenda with Minnesota's most disruptive startups, this is your all-access pass to the know-how, connections, and bold inspiration to take your company to the next level. The rally unites our community each year to cultivate game-changing leaders equipped to overcome obstacles and transform not just business, but the world. I'll see you May 9th as we celebrate the fearless few, charting undiscovered territory here in Minnesota and beyond. You can get tickets at entrepreneursrally.org, that's entrepreneursrally.org. Welcome. Today we have Jose Meneses. Jose is in the EO community in Minnesota and has had an interesting journey. Jose, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us your company name, your day-to-day role, and one of your passions in life.
Well, thank you for having me, Brent. I'm happy to join the EO community. We are in Minnesota. And in the entrepreneur journey, I would say I was a kid and originally from Venezuela, South American. And when I was between 10 and 11 years, I sell glasses and all the can to recycling companies. And I saved my money, and at the summertime, I spent some money. But then I went to school, college, and graduated and started my 8 to 5 work day. And one day in 2020, I was in a clean room working. I said, I really can't see myself for the next 20 years doing this in a room, wearing all the things into the clean room. And I quit my job the next day, and I started my journey in 2020. At that time, I met one of my great mentors in business, and she said, "You need to try. You need to try, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Yes, go ahead." And I start offering consulting business, basically trying to connect Latin American businesses, companies, connecting with the U.S. And I ended doing building mobile apps, custom software, and all the crazy things. And it's like all the up and down, like the entrepreneur journey. How some days I pay the developer guy more money than the one I get, and say, well, at least I was able to pay them. So that is satisfaction. So nobody's looking for me, right? And that help being on the downs help you to understand what you need to do in order to enjoy uh, every day, regardless of where you are. Being in the downside is one of the most helpful experience in your life, in the entrepreneur life. Not having the money, losing friends, family, uh, is I only count with myself. In the last EO Rally, Minnesota, they had Alex Rodriguez and another speaker. And I remember both of them saying, we need to be our self-esteem, our self-esteem. We need to promote ourselves. We need to believe in ourselves, and we need to push ourselves. So, and by 2021, the first year rally, I went in Minneapolis. I met a guy in the round table. I think both were like, what are we doing here? What are we gonna do next? So we exchanged phone numbers, and Sunday we met in a coffee and talked. We ended up being partners. So right now, uh, I'm partner. I have a partnership with a guy I met in the EO rally, and we joined for, and he's doing the customer service, the sales, and I'm more like doing the operation side of the business and offering fulfillment service in the Midwest. Um, we are right now working with manufactured companies in the Minnesota and the Midwest, and we are doing kitting, assembly, and fulfillment. And yeah, this is my story, the EO.
That's awesome. I know that the Latin community has been growing in Minnesota.
Mhm.
I think the Venezuelan community is probably pretty small, but have you been have you had a good experience here in Minnesota as an immigrant, as a Latin American, as an Hispanic?
Yes.
Have you had challenges because of that?
Well, of course, like being an immigrant is always a challenging, but the challenging push you for the best every day. The language barrier, the new friends, the new economy system, everything is a challenging. And if you take the challenges, like the things that push you to the best, you get it. So, and about Minnesota, I fall in love with the Calhoun Lake for the first time. And I said, this is the place where I want to be. And everybody's being welcomed. Everybody is giving me the best. And at the same time, I give him the best. So I don't count any particular details. You always want to find any particular detail around the world. I just count the positive thing. Minnesota has been an awesome country. It's an awesome land. And like an immigrant, I can say, yes, I'm happy here and thank you. Minnesota.
That's great. I can speak from experience. I've been to South America, and we used to have an office in Bolivia, and the cultural differences between Bolivia and Venezuela and Minnesota and Mexico.
Mhm.
I assumed that the culture was all the same across Latin America. Maybe Brazil was different, but
Mhm,
I quickly learned, like you mentioned, 8 to 5, right? Your time.
mhm.
In Mexico, a lot of times the expectations from a developer or from somebody that has to work is going to be 7 to 7, or,
Yes,
with maybe a siesta in the middle of the day. And we sent developers from Bolivia to Mexico to work, and they don't want to go back because they feel like they have to work too much. do
yes.
you um, do you see a similar, like, from a cultural standpoint? Did you have to make a shift when moving to the U.S. or moving to Minnesota specifically in how you worked, or do you think that being an entrepreneur, you're working yourself and you don't really fit into some of those, I'll say, stereotypes around culture and working and things like that?
Of course, there are different, and that is what makes immigrant and local great when you are able to be open to diversity. Okay, I can't imagine a world being the same. It's like I can't imagine myself doing the same thing every day. So that diversity is what makes the countries great. And I would just take the best thing of every country, everything, even here in the US, with all the respect I have for this country. Uh, People in the Midwest has a different behavior than the East Coast, the West Coast, right? So same thing happened with us. Food, oh, maybe it's different. We are maybe more loud. uh, all the time it's a party, but you need to understand we are in a different side of the world. And if you are able to respect where you are, you getting the same respect for who you are too, right? And I would say the main difference is the food. So for you, lunchtime is a lot. Small sandwich for us is different. So I would say this is the main difference and the language. But other than that, we need to feed a family, we need to work for our community, and we need to work for our why. Why is the reason I'm doing this? Why I'm in this world? What can I do to improve myself, my family, my circle, and my community? And if you are not doing that in any space in the world, you are not doing what you mean to be doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can tell me a little bit about how EO has helped you in your entrepreneurial self?
Well, uh, the first thing I will say, I used to be a shy person, and I think I still been shy in some time. But the fact I was able to meet other entrepreneurs having the same issue, the same thought I have, the same question I have, that made a difference. And me say, hey, you you are able to talk, to speak with somebody, and don't be shy. Nobody is gonna questioning who you are or why are you asking that. I would say getting out of the shy thought was one thing. Second thing, the the importance of the network. Networking is important when you are in the entrepreneurial journey. So connect with some people uh, in your same field, in a different field. That is gonna be one of the things I can say. The EO, and you always learn from all the people on the tables, on the meeting, and every event the EO has. You always learn, and learning is not only, and the winning in the EO is not only making money, is the possibility to say, I met and I have friends since EO.
Yeah, that's great. I think the other thing that, for us, We went on a retreat to Mexico City. We were able to connect with the Mexico City chapter of EO,
Mhm.
and we had tours and we had a wonderful lunch. And anywhere you go in the world, there's a community that is around EO. Maybe not North Korea, but most places in the world
Mhm.
have have an EO community that welcomes you as a member,
Yeah.
and it's truly an inside track to allow you to see glimpse the inside of somebody else's business in another part of the world.
Mhm.
Have you had a chance to experience EO from outside of Minnesota?
Oh, not directly, but I met a couple EO members from Canada and one of them from Mexico, Dominican Republic, great people too. And but so far, there's three places.
Yeah, I can. I want to just say quickly about Dominican Republic. If you speak Spanish, or if you try to speak Spanish, their Spanish is completely different than anywhere. It's Spanglish, and they speak really, 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 really fast.
Yes,
Especially if you're only used to Spanish from Central Mexico.
yeah, yeah.
So, if you could look back on your journey, what do you wish that you knew before you started, or what advice would you give yourself, even when you started your journey?
Oh, read more books, um, learn more financial, and look for a mentor.
That's great. So, um, look for a mentor. Kind of tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me about why that's important to find a mentor in whatever you're doing in terms of entrepreneurship.
Um, Sometimes I have a quote when I say, um, tunnel vision. We only see sometimes the tree instead of the forest, and the mentor help you to see the forest, and they help you to find your path, and they help you to technically be more efficient and look forward for what you want. And again, we are being sometimes in the downside. They push you to get up and go up again, and they help you to become a better entrepreneur.
Excellent. From an industry standpoint, do you see your business? You're in 3PL, you're in fulfillment, right? Do you
Right.
see that? Do you see pressures against that right now in our economy, or do you see your business in a sector that's just going to continue to grow?
They continue to grow. Um, Beside all the news and all the reality or not about economy, every day people are getting the e-commerce is growing exponentially. It's growing every day. So every day people need more fulfillment, right? And there are companies needing more help and they are not able to do on their own. And e-commerce or manufacturing need help. And I see that business growing. And there is a lot of competition out of the market too, but there is no something I afraid for. I think uh, we are able to learn from our competitors too. And actually, in the last year rally, one of the speaker, Meredith, she said our competitors are our biggest help. You can learn from them.
Yeah, that's great advice. Learning
Hmm.
from your competitors. Last question.
Yeah.
From a work life balance standpoint in your family, how have you been able to remain sane and also be an entrepreneur with
Say that
work
again,
life
sorry.
how are you able to maintain a balance with your family and with your business? Uh, do you number one, do you maintain a balance, or do you put it all into work and leave something second?
Um, um, I didn't in the past. I didn't, and I lose some of my balance. So, and that helped me understand we need a balance. So we need to come home and see smiles in our special one. And this is a reset. This is a recharge, energy recharge. Like an electric car, when you go to a charge station, this is how I see family. And it needs to be in both directions. In the sometime in the past, I learned about that right now. So life is not only about, in my perspective, with all respect, somebody can be disagree on that, but we need a balance. So if we are just focusing business, we are losing the human side of it. Okay? And family, friends, and space alone is necessary too. And I remember exactly, sorry, Meredith Powell said, competition becomes collaboration. That's the quote I missed a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll just add that in EO, as part of our monthly meetings, we discuss a balance between business, professional, and personal,
Mhm,
or business, family, and personal, I should say.
mhm.
And that's emphasized just because of that balance. And in my forum, we would encourage people to have that balance and to talk about things other than just business, because everything in your life affects your business.
Yes.
And certainly having poor family life or poor business life affects either way, right?
Mhm,
If you're having a hard time at work, it does come home sometimes, and it makes it hard at home. So
mhm.
having that balance and having everybody understand sometimes what you're going through is important.
Yep, I agree.
Jose, at the end of the podcast, I give you a chance to promote or plug anything you'd like. What would you like to promote or plug today? And plug is something where you can just shamelessly tell and promote yourself or a charity or an organization. What would you like to?
Yep, I would say three things. Thank you to the EO Rally Organization for having me and letting me the opportunity to talk. The second thing, to all people are able to listen, um, don't be afraid to be an entrepreneur. It doesn't need to be perfect. You will have a lot of challenging, a lot of difficult time. Don't be afraid. Just move forward. You can stop, think, take a deep breath, and not being where you want to be doesn't mean you are not in the right way. Okay. And the third thing, for I will say, we are helping people to deliver their product to the final customer, doing fulfillment and manufacturing assembly. We are located in San Luis Park, Minnesota. Plus one fulfillment is our company, and ready to help you to grow and helping to deliver your product to your customer.
Great. Thank you, Jose. Muchas gracias.
Oh,
I will
for
put
nada.
all your contact information in our show notes for us today, and I appreciate you being here. I'm also in St. Louis Park, so we'll have to go for lunch sometime.
Sure.
What is your in St. Louis Park? What is your favorite Latin restaurant?
Oh, in San Luis Park, there is a Mexican restaurant and Vira Tacos, something like that. That's the most
Yeah, in
famous
Texatonka.
one. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll go there.
Mm-hmm.
Muchas
Sure.
gracias.
No,
Mucho
for nada.
gusto, Jose.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, and the best for you and all the people listening.
Ciao. Uncharted Entrepreneurship is a production of Content Basis LLC. Copyright 2023. You can find more award-winning content at contentbasis.io. And that wraps up the latest edition of Uncharted Entrepreneurship. Bold tales from entrepreneurial trailblazers. I'm your host, Brent Peterson, signing off after an incredible fireside chat with one of our intrepid trailblazing guests. Their first-hand perspective on conquering the unexplored wilds of business is just a taste of the rare wisdom you'll discover from pioneering entrepreneurs on this show. I also invite you to join me each week for insider commentary on the startup scene and digital marketing landscape on my Talk Commerce podcast. You can find Talk Commerce wherever you download podcasts or go to talk-commerce.com. I'd be grateful if you left a review and rating for Uncharted Entrepreneurship to help more bold founders find their way to game-changing insights that empower ventures to transform communities. This is your host, Brent Peterson, signing off for now. I'll see you around the virtual campfire next episode as we embark on another adventure into the great entrepreneurial unknown.